welcome to the deep dive.
Glad to be diving in today.
So today, we're tackling something a bit different, aren't we? Not exactly our usual source material.
No, that's right. We're actually exploring a dramatic narrative. A story called Call of the Veld.
And our mission here really is to peel back the layers on some complex human stuff, relationships, duty.
And those unexpected ways people can transform when life just sort of throws things at them.
Yeah, definitely.
And you really feel that complexity right from the start, don't you? We meet Sara. She's driven by this powerful sense of duty.
Right. She leaves a good nursing job in England.
A well-paid nursing job, yeah. Travels all the way to the Transvaal, South Africa.
All to care for her sister, Irma, who's an invalid.
Exactly. But here's the immediate kicker, the real tension point. Irma's married to Ray Barton.
The man Sara used to love. Oof.
Precisely. So you've instantly got this incredibly fraught situation.
Yeah, you can imagine. And it doesn't take long for things to get, well, pretty miserable at this place in Jangola Farm.
Misery just hangs heavy, doesn't it, over all three of them?
You've got Irma with her jealous accusations, which sound just constant and wearing.
Grating. And then there's the neighbor, Carl van der Linden.
Ah, yes, Carl.
Yeah.
Sara takes an instant dislike to him. Sees him as cold, arrogant.
Cold-blooded, I think is the phrase used. So, yeah, not a happy household. It's just a volatile mix right off the bat.
So as we get into it, you really feel this weight on Sara, this sense of duty.
Oh, absolutely. It creates this brooding atmosphere around her, and her inner turmoil is just palpable.
One minute she's thinking, okay, I did the right thing coming here.
Yeah, her logical side kicks in.
But the next, she's convinced it's the greatest mistake of her life. That kind of back and forth.
It's that constant battle, isn't it, between her sense of obligation and maybe her own, desires or needs.
And underneath it all, there's still this love for Ray, isn't there?
Yeah.
Which she's actively suppressing.
Deeply suppressed. She keeps trying to thrust away the vision of herself as Ray's wife.
Even while seeing Ray himself is clearly unhappy. His brooding discontent.
Right. And this question hanging over his marriage, his celibate life now, it's a huge emotional sacrifice she's making.
Meanwhile, Irma seems to really run the show emotionally, despite being an invalid.
Oh, she has a grip, yeah. Demanding, lots of petulant complaints.
And quick to accuse Sara of talking to Ray.
Instantly. What's quite striking, though, is that physically her beauty, this rose-tinted beauty, is apparently unimpaired by the accident.
Huh. That's quite a contrast to her personality, then.
It really is. A stark contrast to the bitterness and the emotional damage she seems to be causing. Almost cruel, in a way.
And Ray, how's he handling all this? He sounds caught in the middle.
Completely caught. He's described as just weak, despairing.
His face drawn and tired, voice listless.
Dull and brooding eyes. Yeah. He actually seems to prefer spending time with Carl, the neighbor Sara dislikes, over his own wife.
Wow. That says a lot.
It does, and he has this moment with Sara, this really heartbreaking confession. He asks her, basically, how can he forget his wife is denied to him forever after only 5 months of marriage?
It's just raw anguish there.
Profound sadness.
And Irma's accusations against Sara get pretty nasty, don't they?
They get chilling. She actually suggests Sara was happy, on top of the world, when Ray cabled about the accident.
Implying Sara wished her harm.
Exactly. She even asks her point blank, are you glad I had the accident?
That's incredibly toxic.
It really shows the depth of her insecurity, her resentment, trying to put her unhappiness onto Sara.
Okay, so amidst all this family drama, let's bring in the neighbor again. Carl van der Linden.
The enigma.
Right. He's got this noble lineage, a huge estate, seems very successful.
Produces all sorts of things, yeah. Limitless resources, almost.
But Sara dislikes him more than anyone she's ever met. Thinks he sees women as necessary evils.
A formidable figure, for sure. But here's where it gets complicated almost immediately. Despite Sara's, utter contempt for him, Carl offers help to Ray. Ray is a novice farmer, remember?
Right.
And Carl gives this help freely, which just amazes Sara. It doesn't fit her picture of him at all.
So it challenges her perception right away.
Instantly. And their interactions are interesting, too. He's outwardly civil, cool civility.
Also finds it irritating.
Yeah, because she senses this undercurrent of dislike from him. So the politeness feels charged, strained.
Okay, so tensions are high, relationships are a mess, and then a literal storm hits.
Perfect timing, right?
Yeah.
Mirroring the emotional storm inside Jangola.
And this storm becomes a turning point. Sarah's vehicle gets stuck in the mud.
Forcing her hand, she has to go get help from the one person she wants to avoid, Carl.
Talk about being put in an awkward position.
Absolutely. And Carl's reaction, it just screams practicality and command.
How so?
He just takes charge, no fuss, gets her inside, arranges a shower, a dressing gown, tells his servants to wash and dry her muddy clothes. And he's completely unmoved by her apologies, just reminds her, rather dryly, I did advise you not to venture out.
Huh. Rubbing it in a little.
Just a bit. A real contrast to Ray's, general listlessness.
But then Sara has this unexpected reaction while she's at his house, Ravenspark.
Yes, this is interesting. She notices things like the masculine smell of his soap.
Okay.
And she feels this sense of languor and well-being in his home, finds the atmosphere tranquil.
Which is the complete opposite of Njingola Farm.
Exactly. It's this moment of peace almost that she hasn't experienced since arriving. A brief escape.
But back at Jangola, Irma seems to be spiraling downwards.
Yeah, her despair is deepening. She's relying more and more on sleeping pills.
Once unconsciousness, oblivion.
She actually says things like, total oblivion must be wonderful, repeatedly.
That's incredibly concerning. More than just feeling down.
Much more. It's a very dark state of mind she's expressing.
And Carl notices this too, right? He warned Sara.
He does. And it's a truly chilling warning. He tells Sara he's seen this before.
Oh.
In a friend's cousin, who eventually ended her life.
Wow. Okay, so he's drawing a direct, very serious parallel.
Absolutely. He explicitly warns Sara that Irma must not be allowed a free hand with those sleeping tablets.
So how does Sara take that? I mean, she already feels burdened. She dislikes Carl. How does that warning land?
Well, it just amplifies everything for her, doesn't it? It's a terrible weight. She feels this shame and guilt where none existed.
Like she's somehow responsible?
Yeah.
Or that Carl blames her?
Exactly. She feels Carl blames her for Irma's state. And strangely, her instinct is to try and explain herself to him.
Explain about Ray.
Yeah, explain her past love for Ray, almost hoping for sympathy, understanding from this man she supposedly detests.
Desperation makes you do strange things, I guess. Seeking understanding anywhere you can find it.
Precisely. But then, something starts to shift in Sara's view of Carl.
Ah, okay. Despite the awkwardness, the warning.
Yes. She's in his house, remember. She starts noticing his surroundings, his refined and cultivated taste.
So seeing beyond the arrogant neighbor persona.
Kind of. And maybe even more surprising, she gets the feeling he's actually showing her some measure of interest. Not just cold civility anymore.
A thaw, perhaps.
Maybe. And this leads to a really pivotal moment for Sara internally. She has this realization. She's staggered to admit to herself that she actually wants Carl to change his opinion of her.
Really? After disliking him so intensely?
Exactly, that his opinion suddenly really mattered. Gone is her indifference. It's a huge internal shift.
That is a big moment. It makes you wonder, how often our first impressions lock us in and we miss seeing people differently.
Absolutely. And maybe we miss seeing that they might be interested in us too in ways we didn't expect.
There's also that moment where Sara gets a bit tipsy.
Right. The tipsy interlude. She's embarrassed.
And Carl's reaction.
Just dry amusement. He even comments, anger makes you appear quite pretty.
Okay, so definitely not simple dislike anymore. There's something else developing.
Definitely more nuanced. And that leads us to, the first kiss.
Ah. How's that described? Is it romantic? Awkward?
It's described as electric. Sara feels this inexplicable yearning.
Yeah.
And the kiss itself. Ruthless and primitive.
Ruthless. Primitive. That sounds intense. Not exactly gentle.
No, not gentle. It sounds like something raw, elemental almost.
Yeah.
It speaks to Carl's magnificent domination, this powerful presence.
Then Sarah's reaction. Is she repulsed?
Initially, there's anger, humiliation, but then surrender. She realizes, to her own shock probably, that she derived a similar pleasure.
Wow. Okay. So a really profound, almost primal shift in her feelings for him.
Completely. Everything's changing for her.
And then things take another massive turn. Carl proposes marriage.
Astonishing, right. But hold on, it's not exactly hearts and flowers.
No. How does he frame it?
As a profitable bargain.
A bargain. Seriously, like a business deal.
Pretty much. We need to look at his reasons, though. They're complex.
Okay, lay them out. Why does he propose this bargain?
Well, first, he thinks marrying Sara will remove her as Irma's perceived rival for Ray, which might stop Irma's suicide threats. Practical, in a grim way.
Okay, so it's partly about managing Irma's situation.
Partly. But it's also, he argues, for Sara's benefit, giving her her own life, freeing her from being Irma's caregiver 24/7.
A way out for her?
And then there are his own reasons. He wants to stop his headstrong former ward, this woman Marie, from just showing up and squatting at Ravenspark.
Right, protecting his domain.
And, crucially, he wants an heir, securing his legacy.
So it's a mix of concern for others, self-interest, practicality.
A very calculated decision, yeah, driven by logic, not overt emotion.
And that comes across in his proposal, cold and clinical.
That's exactly how it's described. A noticeable lack of warmth or romance. It really underscores the pragmatic nature of it all. It's a deal.
But the story isn't done with unexpected twists, is it? Another character comes into play.
Right. Just when you think things are settling into this weird arrangement, Bernard Kirkby appears. He's a young man who works for Carl. And he drops a bombshell on Sara.
Oh, what is it?
He confesses he's in love with Irma.
With Irma. Despite her invalidism, her bitterness.
Despite everything. And he starts visiting her regularly at Njangala Farm, provides companionship.
And what effect does this have on Irma?
It's transformative, truly. Her whole mental state improves dramatically.
So?
She goes from basically saying she wants to die, not intending to live, to telling Sara, I don't want to die anymore.
Wow. All because of Bernard's attention.
Seems so. It's this genuine affection, this consistent presence from an unexpected source that seems to rekindle her will to live. It's quite powerful.
That's amazing. And what does this development and her own situation with Carl do to Sara's feelings about Ray, the man she originally loved?
It really clarifies things for her. When Ray finally gets around to confessing his love for Sara.
Oh, he does, after all this.
Yes, and he wants her to leave Carl for him.
And Sara's reaction.
She flat out rejects him. Explicitly, she finally sees him clearly as weak and despicable, her words. And she tells him straight, she loves Carl now.
A complete reversal from the beginning of the story. Duty has definitely given way to something else entirely.
Absolutely. Her perspective has totally shifted.
Okay, so this must lead to some kind of final confrontation, right?
It does, a really dramatic one. Carl actually witnesses Ray trying to kiss Sara.
Oh, no. And Carl assumes the worst.
He completely misjudges it, reacts with smoldering fury, physically shakes Sara in his anger.
Whoa. That's intense. A side of Carl we haven't quite seen. Raw emotion.
Definitely shows a vulnerability, a possessiveness, perhaps, that wasn't there in the bargain proposal.
How does Sara react to his fury? Does she crumble?
No, surprisingly, she stands up to him. There's defiance. She even shouts, I hate you, in the heat of the moment.
But does she mean it?
No, because then finally she tells him the truth. I love you.
And Carl, how does he take that after his outburst?
His regret is immediate, profound. He realizes how wrong he was.
Does he finally admit his own feelings properly? Beyond the bargain?
Yes. He confesses he was actually falling in love with you at that time, back when he'd arranged that earlier holiday for her.
So his motives then, even his concern about Irma's suicide threats,
were partly colored by his growing feelings for Sara. It wasn't just clinical pragmatism. Even then, there was more going on beneath the surface.
So how does it all resolve? We have Irma finding happiness, Sara and Carl admitting their love.
Well, the resolution brings new beginnings. Irma and Bernard actually make plans to leave Africa altogether.
Really? Where are they going?
To England, to start a new life, try farming there.
That's incredible. A miracle, as the story calls it.
It really is, and it's all down to Bernard's love and influence, achieving what Sara, with all her dutiful effort, couldn't. Shows that sometimes the solution comes from a completely unexpected place.
And what about Sara and Carl? What's their future look like at Ravenspark?
Carl makes it clear things are different now. He tells her basically, our marriage is real now, it's normal, your place is here, running your own home, not exhausting yourself in someone else's.
So he wants her to be his partner, mistress of Ravenspark, not just an add-on or a caregiver removed.
Exactly. He wants her to fully embrace her role as his wife.
And Sara, is she happy with this?
She finds this profound sense of peace. Peace at last. The peace of mind I've craved ever since I came here.
She feels chosen, content.
Yes, chosen from all others. Embracing her unexpected path and the genuine happiness she found.
What a journey for all of them, from such a tangled, unhappy start.
It really is. And this deep dive, I think, it really shows how things like empathy, honesty, even facing really uncomfortable truths, ultimately led to these huge changes, new beginnings for everyone. It's a testament to, well, human connection maybe, even when things seem impossible.
And how a decision that starts out as purely rational, like Carl's proposal.
It can actually lead to real emotional fulfillment unexpectedly.
So wrapping up our deep dive into Call of the Veld, it definitely shows how a marriage that starts as,
A
convenience
bargain, yeah.
can actually blossom into something really powerful. But it does make you think, doesn't it, about our own lives?
How so?
Well, how often do we maybe mistake duty for what we truly desire? Or stick to our first impressions? And, how much happiness might we miss out on by not being open to those unexpected turns life sometimes takes?
That's a really provocative thought to end on. Definitely something for you all to think about.